Yes, folks, it's Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. Do please, ladies and gentlemen, do please like and subscribe and leave me some comments. Comments are good. I don't care if they're insults. Even if they do come from people who keep goats as pets. I'm going to talk today about Jeffrey Epstein. We were talking 2 days ago about Ghislaine Maxwell. Well, Ghislaine Maxwell was a close associate of Jeffrey Epstein and helped him in recruiting underage girls for sexual exploitation. I'll read you a list of some of his associates at the end. You'd be quite amazed when you hear the list, yeah? But Jeffrey Epstein, who was killed or killed himself, depending on which you believe, in prison in New York, and he was aged 66. His main residence was listed as Little St. James Island in the American Virgin Isles. And he had numerous convictions, 2 convictions in fact, for sexually exploiting underage girls. In 2008, he was convicted of procuring a girl for prostitution and sentenced to 18 months in Florida, where he did some kind of a mysterious deal whereby he had the rights to continue working, so all he had to do was spend the night in the confines of a prison block that was specially accommodated for him, which he even had a reception desk, yes, staffed by corrections officers who were required to wear suits, not uniforms. I mean, what kind of a joke is this? I suppose that's what $500 million will do for you. But in July 2019, he was arrested, put on trial, and found guilty again of sex trafficking. And he was subsequently sentenced to imprisonment. But let's go back a little bit. In April of 2016, a woman came forward who claimed that at the age of 13, she was exploited by Jeffrey Epstein and another man who sexually molested her when she was 13 years of age. The other man, you've probably seen him, Donald J. Trump. And she brought a private lawsuit against Epstein, and it was withdrawn. She advised her counsel, that's a barrister, a lawyer, that she was receiving death threats, and nothing further was heard of that. Now, there has been, I see comments on my previous post from people saying that Epstein and Maxwell, that's Ghislaine Maxwell, were actually agents of Mossad, intelligence gathering, and it was believed that what he was doing, Epstein, was filming all the people of note, people from the elite, senior members of governments and members of major companies, CEOs of major companies, and keeping these videos. And it was stated by one of his former employees that he had in his numerous houses, in each one what was known as a media room, and all the house was wired up with cameras so that he could these were these miniature cameras that you can't exactly, they'd be hidden in pictures or hidden in ornaments, a bit like a James Bond kind of thing, and that they were filming their activities and using these, providing them to Mossad, that's the Israeli Secret Service, to actually persuade these people to follow their instructions. And as I say, Donald J. Trump was amongst them. So in July of 2019, after he'd been convicted and sentenced in New York, he was held in the prison there and supposedly attempted suicide. His neck was badly bruised. He didn't succeed in committing suicide, but in July he was put on suicide watch because they believed that he had attempted suicide because his neck was badly bruised, and 2 weeks after that he wrote his last will and testament, which everything was left to a trust that he'd set up. People wondered where he got his money from. Well, he was providing financial services for multimillionaires the world over and was undoubtedly receiving funds from various immensely rich people for providing them certain services. Now, I'm going to give you a list of the people that he was known to associate with Jeffrey Epstein, and also down below I'll put a link to a video clip showing Epstein in a club, I believe it's in Mar-a-Lago, with that's Trump with Jeffrey Epstein. Goodness knows what they're discussing, but it looks like they're looking at young women dancing. But you click to the link down below. This absolutely establishes the fact that Donald J. Trump was associating with Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, so as I say, on August the 9th of 2019, whilst under close suicide watch, 2 guards and CCTV cameras all over the cell block, Epstein was found to be hanged at the side of his bunk bed. The story they told was that he'd thrown himself off the top bunk bed, and that's how he hung himself. Now, people who are doing things like that make a lot of noise, wouldn't you think? You hear somebody jumping off the thing and you're in the room or in the room next door when you're the guard. But no, these 2 guards slept through it. That was their story. They slept through it. They didn't check on him for 3 hours. For 3 hours. I mean, I've done these suicide watches with high-profile inmates, and you make sure that you go and check them. People like Ian Brady and the Black Panther and people like that. When they're on suicide watch, you go and check, because you do not want to be the prison officer that's actually responsible, for not making sure that they're safe. You basically are protecting them against themselves. But on this occasion, the lawyers acting for the late Jeffrey Epstein claimed that the findings of the autopsy were not in keeping with the idea that he hung himself. You see, Jeffrey Epstein's neck was broken, and if you're just putting a noose around your neck and hanging yourself from a bar or a cell window or whatever, you don't break your neck, you choke to death. But Jeffrey Epstein's neck was broken, and statistics show that when people have hung themselves, there is approximately 6% have managed to damage the bones in their neck. All the rest, 94%, just choke to death, don't damage the bones in the neck. But in Epstein's case, his actual neck was broken. Also, the guards stated that they had fallen asleep. They'd fallen asleep, so they didn't see him for 3 hours. And, believe this or not, all the CCTV cameras failed to function. There was a malfunction in the CCTV cameras. Imagine that. Top security, yeah, a high-profile inmate like that, the cameras don't work. Here's a quick list of known associates of Jeffrey Epstein. That's people who stayed at his property, the little St. James Island, where he had a big mansion, swimming pool, all the lot. And he had properties in New York and Florida. In fact, numerous properties. So here we go. This is a list. It's published, by the way. All you've got to do, just take my word for it. Go onto Google, type in Jeffrey Epstein. You'll come up with the Wikipedia page. That will be there. Have a look on there. Scroll down. You'll see them. See all these names are mentioned. Number 1, Bill Clinton, former president, 2-time president of the United States of America. Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook. Woody Allen, film director, Ali and all stuff like that, yeah. Jeff Bezos of Amazon, an associate of Jeffrey Epstein. Stephen Hawking, the physicist. What on earth is that all about? Yeah. Prince Andrew, our Prince Andrew, yeah. Known associate. Mind you, we've all read about that before because he paid out, well, his mother paid out something like $14 million to prevent the lawsuit going ahead. I think the woman's name who was proceeding against him was Virginia Giuffre. Harvey Weinstein was an associate of Jeffrey Epstein. He's currently in prison himself for attacking and sexually molesting various actresses. Richard Branson, yeah, the CEO of Virgin. Michael Jackson, the now deceased pop singer. Thriller, eh? That's probably why he went. Steve Bannon, he was an associate. He's a Trump advisor, still is. And last but not least, by any means, our former Prime Minister of Great Britain, Tony Blair. Known associate of Jeffrey Epstein. So, and what were they all doing? Well, according to information and court cases, there's a great list of them if you look on Wikipedia. It involved girls as young as 13. So what were they doing with these girls? Well, they weren't playing tiddlywinks, I don't think, do you? It's that time of day. Tales from the jails. That's a song, dinger. When the sing-dong-a-dings run for the hills. When the sing-dong-a-dongs, you're gone. No, you're not. You're here. Anyway, so if you're hanging about, you enjoy this. See me on the sick parade tomorrow morning. This is a song that I've slightly amended to fit in with today's subject matter. It's originally recorded and written by Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke. Great American soul singer. And this is She Was Only 13. Originally written by Sam Cooke as She Was Only 16, but I've changed the words a little bit. She was only 13, only 13. I loved her so, but she was too young to fall in love. And I was too old to know. We'd laugh and we'd sing and do the little things that made my knob grow. But she was too young to fall in love, and I was too old to know. Why did I give my heart so fast? It never will happen again. But I was an old man then. I've aged a year since then. She was only 13, only 13. with eyes that would glow. But she was too young to fall in love, and I was too old to know. Then why did I give my heart so fast? It never would happen again. But she was a mere girl of 16. She's aged a few years since then. She was only 13, with eyes that would glow. She was too young to fall in love, and I was too old to know. Yes, she was too young to fall in love, and I was too old to give a bloody damn. That's the one, isn't it? I kind of cocked that last verse up, didn't I? Tales from the Jails. There's any crackling on this. I don't know what it is. It ain't me, babe. All right. Thank you very much. Tales from the Jails.